Hello viewers, this is Major General Neelendra Kumar for the YouTube channel Lex Consilium Foundation and the playlist Going Strong. As you are aware that in the playlist Going Strong, we have been speaking to eminent persons who are above 80 in age, and in conversation today I am with General VN Sharma, who was Indian Army's 14th Chief of Army Staff, and he is now 95. Could I request you, sir, that please speak about your connection, your meetings or relationship with Mr. Atal Bihari Vajpayee, who is the Prime Minister, and also about the India's nuclear blast that you got a chance to observe and assess.
Well, I retired in 1990, but before I retired, I was in very close touch with the Secretary of the Atomic Commission, who, if I remember correctly, was Mr. Chidambaram or somebody. He used to visit the three army chiefs to find out what sort of weapon system do you want of the nuclear variety. We used to keep testing our minds on the subject. This would be 1989-90. And then I retired in 1990, but these Atomic Energy Commission people were still in contact with me and with the retired Air Chief S.K. Mehra, because they had a large number of seminars and many foreign secretaries, like one who was sacked by Rajiv Gandhi, Venkatesh Varolu. He was the foreign secretary, and when Prime Minister Rajiv Gandhi said something to him, he said, "Sir, not like that, something else," and Rajiv Gandhi sacked him out of hand. So that didn't spoil his vivacious nature. And he and I were very good friends. So whenever he used to arrange various strategic type of discussions, whether they were on atomic warfare or whether on missile systems or whether on the Cuban Missile Crisis or whatever, he used to always invite me to either be a discussant or to be one of the members who used to talk. Anyway, Vajpayee became the Prime Minister in 1998. Now, one of his very drinking buddies, a man called Appa Gitate. Appa is the elder brother.
Yes.
I forget his initials. But Gitate and Vajpayee were very good friends. In University of Allahabad, in the Allahabad University's Holland Hall set of dormitories, Vajpayee and Gitate were students, and Gitate had a scooter, and Vajpayee was a student with no scooter. So he used to take Vajpayee for a run to the town,
yes,
to see what the girls looked like or what was happening. In those days there were a lot of riots. Mahatma Gandhi was doing his Quit India movement, 41, 42. So he knew Gitate very well. Then one of the habits was that every evening as students, I am quoting Gitate himself, yes, he is a very good friend of mine. They used to sit together in the evening and polish off one bottle of whiskey between the two of them, every
yes,
evening. So, since Gitate was from the RIMC, which is the school which I also attended, yes, in Dehradun, he and I were very good friends because many times we used to travel together to the RIMC for a Founders' Day get-together on the 13th of March and travel back together, etc. And he used to invite me to his home and meet his wife, and we had no children. And I used to invite him here to my home after we retired.
yes.
And so one day he tells me that my dear buddy and friend Vajpayee is going to become the Prime Minister.
Yes.
He belongs to the BJP. So since you have so many ideas about this country and where it should go and what it is, strategic relations.
Yes.
with other countries in the world. Would you like to talk to him? If you wish to talk to him, I can get you an interview, because he's taking over the Prime Minister's office in another week or two. He's living on Saftarjung Road. If I'm not mistaken, it is number 21 or 25 Saftarjung Road. And I can fix it. So I said, fine, I don't mind talking to him. So he fixed an appointment for me to meet Mr. Vajpayee. She told me that you have got 20 minutes starting at 7:30 in the evening. So please arrive there 5-10 minutes earlier so that the security can check you out.
Yes.
At 7:30 sharp, you will be taken into the room where the Prime Minister to be Vajpayee is sitting. And sharp 20 minutes down the line, you have to exit. Yes. And if you don't, you will be given an indication that please go. So what do you have to say? You can say in 20 minutes. I said, fine. So when I entered Vajpayee's office, is a simple room, nothing in the room. Just a table, empty table, with a chair on that side and a chair on this side. And he was sitting on a chair and he just looked at me. So I said, Namaskar, Pradhan Mantri ji. No answer, no expression on the face. So I sat down, I said to myself that 20 minutes is going fast, we may as well speak. I said, I have 2 points for you. You're going to be the Prime Minister. Point 1, we have to blow the nuclear weapons. These are ready from the Congress Raj of, it started with Indira Gandhi.
Yes.
If you recollect, in 1974, Indira Gandhi had done a demonstration nuclear explosion. It is called the peaceful nuclear explosion. But one thing is to demonstrate a device. Another thing is to make it into a weapon system. They're two different things. Because any device that you make, if you want to use it against an enemy, you have to convey it there, either by aircraft or missile, and we had no missiles in those days. Right? Aircraft were not designed to carry these things. So, I said, Indira Gandhi is a demonstration device, but meanwhile, the Congress government has given full amount of money to the Atomic Energy Commission to continue research. And from that time in 1974 till now, which is 1998, we are ready with an excellent computer program to blow any type of nuclear device. But this computer program is not tested. Therefore, permission has to be given to the Atomic Energy Commission to test this nuclear device. And I know, because I'm in contact with all these people, that they're all ready, because they have developed much more from 1974. And you as Prime Minister, the only man who can give them the permission. Now the reason why the Congress has not given permission, because since Indira Gandhi's 1974 explosion of the device, this country has been under US sanctions.
They're keeping a watch.
What?
Yes.
Yes. Sanctions on India from US have been existing since 1974. Those sanctions were quite harsh, both in trade and other things, or to purchase any type of equipment, either from Russia or from Soviet Union in those days, or from anyone, which has any relationship with nuclear development, were denied to India. We had, Homi Bhabha and others in the nuclear system had started all sorts of trials. There was in Trombay in Bombay, we had started a small nuclear device, a nuclear power system presented by Canada, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
But beyond that, they were not giving us anything. See? Since 1974. So I said, but if you grow more nuclear devices, there will be much more sanctions, which the country will have to bear. So Vajpayee interrupted me. He said, General, sanctions mean nothing to India. We have got a huge market, which the Western world does not have. There are only two markets in the world. One is China, the other is India.
India.
Because there's a massive population, they all want to buy stuff. The moment they get some money Even the poorest people want to buy a two-wheeler, they want to buy a four-wheeler, you know.
Yes.
Similarly, somebody wants an air conditioner, somebody wants it. There is no lack of demand for the goodies of life in India.
In India.
So sanctions mean nothing because whatever we produce in India, we will sell. The sanctions basically prevent your trade. All countries have international trade where if you're given sanctions, it has an effect on your economy. Alright? He said, India is not bothered about sanctions. We are on sanctions since 1974. We haven't even said anything about it because we are carrying on. See? So, don't worry about that. That's one point. My second point, which is not related to the question you asked me, was about the pensions of the Indian Army. I said in the army, for all armed forces, pays have increased as per the inflation today as opposed to 1950 or 1947 when we became independent. What has happened that retired officers and men who have retired in 1950, 55 and so on, their pensions remain at the salary they got then. What is happening now in my village in Kangra, there is a retired Subedar Major Sahab. This is the highest rank a Jawan can reach. And he has an eligible young boy, son, who wants to marry some nice lady. But all the village girls don't want to have anything to do with him because there is a two-striper retired recently, who left the army recently. His pension is double that of the Subedar Major Sahab. So that aspect, the government has made the system of respect for rank and position in the military upside down, where a two-striper is more acceptable in the society because of more money, vis-a-vis a Subedar Major Sahab, who retired in 1950. So I said the least you can do is to equalize or increase the pensions of those who retired much earlier in life. There has to be a system that any increase in salaries means increase in pension because we get 50% of our salary as a pension. So, therefore, if the pays go up and the pensions go up of jawans and officers as they proceed because of inflation, that inflation is also affecting those who have retired and are still alive, who have retired much earlier in life. So, kindly give them something. Otherwise, their position in society drops out. They don't have enough money to support themselves or their families. Yeah. I gave him 2 points. And my 20 minutes were up, I came away.
Okay.
This is an introduction to this subject. Because Vajpayee became, if you recollect, Prime Minister for about 2 weeks. And then I think he lost some majority by one man in the parliament or something. And he had to demit office. Then there was an election again. And then he came in as a Prime Minister again. Within those 2 weeks, he told the Atomic Energy Commission to blow the bomb, right? Now I'll explain what has happened here. The way these bombs are blown, firstly, very few people know this is going to be done. Now, one thing about secrecy and confidentiality in India, we all talk too much. We have got so many people talking too much to the foreign country, to everybody, newspapermen, others. Nobody has respect for those matters of the military which are confidential, which should not be talked about.
National security.
National security. Why? Because if you talk like hell, especially newspapers, others, or as you Norway calls them the Quisling, or the Mir Jaffas, as per Robert Clive's action in Awadh in 1747 against Siraj-e-Dawla, the Nawab of Awadh, where the Indians sell their own people for money to the enemy. Throughout the British occupation of India,
this has happened.
We have lost because our own people have given up for money or for position and authority, the king's position or whatever it is, or open the gates of the forts or whatever
They
it
were
is.
traitors.
So our fighters are not any less than anyone in the world. But the British occupied us. Seringapatam against, Hyder Ali and his son in battles of Seringapatam, etc. were fought because of the quislings of the Indians who gave up the essential information about the defenders. Okay. So anyway, having said that about Indians, how is it? We had to maintain total secrecy. Because let me tell you that every 30 minutes to 45 minutes, there is an American satellite going over India.
Yes.
Now it's much more sophisticated. It's 1990 or thereabout, or 1988, 89, there was one satellite which used to go over India every half an hour to 45 minutes. If I'm not mistaken, it goes south to north or north to south. And this satellite has cameras in it. Those cameras can be trained to look westward, eastward, downward, everywhere.
Yes.
But the span in those days were not sufficient to fill the whole country. So if the intelligence by the American intelligence authorities or the CIA or whoever gives them the slightest information that you are testing a missile or doing something, they aim the cameras to that point so that they know exactly what you are doing.
Yes.
Now this question of exploding this bomb had to be kept very secret, because if the Americans came to know that you are preparing something like this, they could diplomatically and otherwise give you a big squeeze to stop you doing it. So only a few people knew about this. We three chiefs knew nothing about it. Retired chiefs knew nothing about it. Defense Ministry knew nothing about it. Only Vajpayee himself knew.
Yes.
Even his national security advisor knew nothing about it.
That was M.K. Narayan or Brijesh Mishra?
No?
Yes.
The national secretary was somebody else.
Okay.
He's ex-foreign ministry officer. I know him very well. His name is slipping my mind.
Yes, sir.
And he knew nothing about it. Who are the people who knew about it? Chidambaram himself, the chairman of the Atomic Commission. Abdul Kalam, who from DRDO.
Yes.
He was not the main DRDO man, he was advisor to the military chief from DRDO. Yes. So Abdul Kalam knew about it because he was on the ground,
yes,
giving the DRDO's instructions as to how this is to be arranged. And the atomic blasts were being done by two other scientists, including Chidambaram, who was the boss. So there were hardly 3 or 4 people or 5 people who knew. Now, how do you want to blow a bomb? India's technique of testing a nuclear weapon is, if I might say, the best in the world. America has done something like 500 explosions or 600 explosions, reduced whole islands to nothing, like the Bikini Atoll. I mean, they tested nuclear weapons in the Pacific Islands. Whereas the local people are removed and the whole Pacific Island disappears because you tested the nuclear bomb there. Then for so many miles around, the fish and other things are affected by nuclear fallout. You can't fish there. So they have destroyed nothing in America, but all in the southern Pacific Islands.
Yes.
All right. Soviet Union has tested bombs, must be about over 300 times. They have used areas in Siberia or something, which are far away from humanity. The Chinese have tested almost 250 weapons, and they have tested at the Lopnor region of Tibet, which is a very open desert sort of
sparsely populated.
Because you can't have any population there. So what happens is that all the tests have been overground. That causes a huge mushroom cloud and it causes a lot of nuclear fallout. Americans have also tested bombs, which they, like what they threw on Nagasaki and Hiroshima, was about 2,000 kilometers above the city to explode an air bomb. Now the air bomb spreads much more.
Yes.
And causes much more destruction.
Yes.
So that is not only killing humanity, but it is also wiping out a large amount of infrastructure and also making a large amount of rivers, lakes, forests unusable for so many years because of nuclear
Results
fallout.
into climate change.
No, nuclear
yes.
fallout.
Yes, nuclear fallout.
Even
radiation.
Even your wheat and rice and all become uneatable because it's got nuclear effect by nuclear radiation. So atomic blast is not only a blast, which is very strong light, which can blind you, but it is also 3 or 4 rays that come out, like X-rays, gamma rays, Roentgen rays, all sorts of things which penetrate your body and give you cancer. even if you haven't been in the blast. So India wanted to have none of that. They decided to explode these bombs about 25 kilometers below the earth. For that,
Totally underground.
Underground.
Yes.
And for that, what they wanted, since there were 5 weapons they wanted to test,
Yes.
they asked an engineer regiment,
Yes.
whose commanding officer had to be told as to what's the idea behind this, but he was also told that you have to make sure that your Jawans and others have a story as to why they are doing this.
Yes.
So he had to dig a well, maybe about 4 feet in width,
Yes.
make a well which goes down 2,500 odd kilometers into the earth. And at the bottom of the well, they wanted 5 horizontal spokes, right? That was done. Because the idea of the scientists was that in each of these 5 spokes, which were separated by a lot of earth, since there were spikes under the ground, they would test these 5 weapons,
Yes.
turn by turn, so that the explosion of one does not destroy another or set it off.
Yes.
So they wanted 5 explosions to be done turn by turn. They had the computer readings, etc., to find out what the result was, and whether it was a success or a failure. Now, to tell you what are these type of explosive devices that were put there, they wanted to test a quarter ton, a 3/4 ton, a 20 kiloton. 20 kiloton is the one that was dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Kilotons means 10,000, 1 kiloton is 10,000
Of TNT.
types of TNT
Yes,
explosion.
sir.
So 20 kiloton is 20 multiplied by 1,000
Yes.
explosion effect.
Quite
That's
right.
not TNT,
Sir.
right? You know what TNT is.
Yes.
TNT is an explosive device made by Nobel. That you get the Nobel Prize
Yes.
because he destroyed so many people in the earth because of making explosives, so he gave a Nobel Prize for peace. Okay. So so as I said, he had 20 kiloton. Then he had a 50 megaton device. 50 megaton.
Megaton.
Megaton is 1,000 times the kiloton.
That was the maximum
That was maximum.
potency.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that means there were 2 or 3 very small explosions. And then there was the 20 kiloton, which is a standard explosion, and then there was the 50 megaton,
Yes.
to a very large explosion. So this was to be done on a certain date. I think it was May. How to stop the Americans from getting wind of this? Because the Indians talk a
Yes.
lot. All the Jawans and anybody who came then said, what are you doing here? Because they're engineer regiment. They said there's a Saraswati river which disappeared.
Yes.
Saraswati river, as you all know, started from the Himalayas,
Yes.
and it went somewhere into the Rajasthan desert eventually. And it actually, according
Trying to trace it.
it lands up in, the run of Kutch.
Yes.
The run of Kutch is actually the delta of the Saraswati river. When it was delta, the run of Kutch area, Dhola, Veera,
Yes.
is a town there in ruins,
Yes.
which is a huge harbour. And now it's all become useless because mud flats have come in there and they cannot be a harbour anyway because Saraswati river disappeared and so no water comes there. So the water only comes when the tides come in, right? So they said the Saraswati river has disappeared, it's underground. We are making a tunnel to get the waters of the Saraswati out so that we can create waters in this dry desert of ours and make India green, full of crops,
Yes.
to feed our millions. So that was the excuse he
The
gave.
story that was the
That was the
cover.
story that was given to all the Jawans. So naturally, a Jawan goes back home, he tells his wife and children get to know that Saraswati ka darya nikal rahe. So they worked with tremendous gusto because that is to assist the country in its food problem. So nobody knew what this was. And the other 3 scientists, nobody spoke. Now, the American satellite was coming every now and then. So at the same time, what they decided was to test a new missile which they had made, which was to be set off on that island east of Orissa,
Okay, sir.
where they do all the missile tests.
Yes.
over the Bay of Bengal. Now this is one of the Agni series, one of the earlier ones.
Yes, sir.
Okay, we are much more advanced now.
Yes.
So those Agni series, they must have first or second one. So they let it be known that we are going to test this new missile. They gave the indication to all the ships of the world that such and such area is the impact area of the Bay of Bengal, so all shipping is hereby ordered not to come there. And the Indian Navy was set out there to prevent other ships coming into the area, and a missile was set up. And it was actually tested and fired exactly at the same time as the nuclear explosion.
So
the American satellites came to know that this missile is being tested. Everybody wants to know what is the development of India for the missile system, because it's very important.
Yes.
It gives the strength to the country. So all the cameras were looking that side. Now that is in the east, and this was done in the Pokhara Desert in the west.
Successfully,
Yes.
surprise was maintained.
We only came to know, I mean, when Vajpayee got the first information by message, Buddha smiles or something like that.
That's right.
That means that the test is successful. And then later, the Americans picked it up, because when you have 5 explosions taking place under the ground anyway, it's like an earthquake. So in Karachi and other places, they have those very sensitive instruments to check on earthquakes. And they can tell
Seismic wave.
if it's an earthquake, what is the strength of the earthquake, and where is its point of impact.
Yes, epicenter.
Yeah, epicenter. So they knew that this is not an earthquake, it's less than an earthquake, but then what is it? They said it is a nuclear explosion. See? So then the Americans said that, the Indians have done a nuclear explosion. And they said that they have exploded 1 or 2 devices. They tried more, but they were a failure.
Yes.
They were American intelligence. Everybody in intelligence is lies. After 2-3 days, after permission from the Prime Minister, then we informed the world that we've done the test of 5 devices. Each one was successful, and there was no fallout on the surface of the earth.
Yes.
That means what happened, that where these tests were being done, that area where the tunnel was being dug, rose up about 10-20 feet and then collapsed.
So more or less subsides.
Subsided. It becomes it's become a huge ditch there. But what has happened to exploded underground? So the crust of the earth expands upwards and sideways and everywhere.
So there is no external trace left.
No fallout outside.
Yes.
And it's the first time that India has shown the world that you can do a nuclear explosion with no fallout on the surface. All underground, and no fish are disturbed, no rivers are disturbed, nothing is disturbed. We're in the desert area.
So it's remarkable for this count alone.
Absolutely remarkable. Our science is too good. And so nobody knew. And we came to know only 2-3 days later when it was published. We had done so many devices. Now Pakistan had already got from China, and with the permission of America, when you look at the strategic situation that India faces, it's not that the Americans are incapable of talking one-to-one with the Chinese, and even for that matter with the Russians. This is diplomacy. So both China and Russia agreed that we must not allow proliferation of nuclear weapons. So they were talking there, and they have tried their best to prevent India, because they knew that our brains are very strong and that we might decide to make nuclear devices. The Congress party had said openly that we are Dharmatma people, we don't believe in this terrible weapon. That's the Congress view. And I recollect in certain seminars before the explosion was done, 95, 96, I used to attend, people of 2 Congress ex-ministers used to attend, Venkat Teshwaradu running the show, and they said that Mahatma Gandhi's philosophy of non-violence, you cannot make a nuclear weapon. We were discussing whether we should or should not.
Not in tune with Gandhi's philosophy.
These were 2 people. One was Mani Shankar Iyer. And the other was Salman Khurshid. Now, Mani Shankar Iyer, if you recollect, had become an oil minister under the, I think, Indira Gandhi's government, if I'm not, or Nehru's government. After one term, he was sacked. He's a very good speaker. But they know he's a bit of a maverick, so nobody wanted him in the government. And Salman Khurshid has been in charge of the Congress party's election system in Uttar Pradesh.
Yes.
And you will realize that the Congress has always failed in Uttar Pradesh. Yes. Why? Because Salman Khurshid is there. He's married a Christian woman.
Yes.
I know him very well.
Yes.
He's a very handsome man. They both were there and they said, this is non-violence, you must follow that. Till I told them something, that's a separate subject, so I'm not going to talk about it, that non-violence is of the mind.
Yes.
You must not have anger, you must have a cool mind. But that does not mean that you do not fight, or do not have weapons to fight. After all, the Lord Krishna in the Gita has spoken of non-violence. That non-violence is that your mind should be cool and calm. No agitation in the mind. But we have to fight the enemy, whoever they are.
Fight the enemy.
The evil has to be destroyed. So he's thrown his bow and arrow down.
Yes.
He doesn't want to fight against the Kauravas because they are led by Bhisham Pitama, his grandfather, his teacher Dronacharya, and so on.
Yes.
And Lord, what is Gita? Yes. It's a military book to tell you get up and fight.
Yes.
Provided it's for the right.
Yes. For the right cause.
To destroy evil, right?
Yes.
And the Lord said, who is going to die and who is not going to die is up to me. Yes. But you have to act so that I can function.
Quite right, sir.
See?
Yes.
So, I told that to Salman Khurshid. I said, non-violence is this. There's a Muslim tradition also, we can talk about it some other time. But the same. So we achieved this, and it was a great surprise all over the world. And India entered the nuclear class. But I must tell you more. When China exploded the bomb in 1964 or thereabout, they were admitted to the United Nations Security Council with the veto right. Why? Because that right was Chiang Kai-shek's of the Kuomintang or whatever he called himself. But they were defeated by the communist revolution of Mao Zedong, and he ran away to then called Formosa, now called Taiwan.
Yes.
So even Jawaharlal Nehru told the Security Council that the mainland China is under Mao Zedong, and now he's exploded the weapon also. To bring him some responsibility over the world, please admit him to the Security Council. Because if he admits there, then he's got so many other nations to talk to. What is the idea of the United Nations? That we talk and not go to war.
Yes.
See? Right. And if you don't agree in the Security Council or you don't agree with the veto, then the General Assembly comes. But there's a lot of politics there. Whichever side politics are supposed to vote in this way or that way. So China exploded about 10 years earlier of Indira Gandhi's 74 explosion, about 64 if I'm not mistaken, and they were immediately admitted to the Security Council. But when Indira Gandhi did a demonstration explosion, they didn't bother about her, because nobody wants to allow India to grow strong for a lot of reasons which you probably know better than I.
Yes, quite right.
So this is the story of Buddha Smiles.
Thank you. Viewers, stay with us. This conversation with General VN Sharma will continue. Thank you.